This is very serious. Jesus chose only you to hear this. Keep it secret. Something big is coming in 2 hours, my beloved child. Stop. Breathe. There is something hidden unfolding right now, and if you found this moment, it is not by chance. The universe does not interrupt your path without purpose. What you are about to hear was sealed, protected, and quietly waiting for the exact second your spirit would be ready to receive it. There is a veil lifting. A truth that has been watching you long before you began asking questions. You may have felt restless lately, sensing that something is shifting beneath the surface of your life. That feeling was not confusion, it was recognition. Your soul has been hearing whispers before your mind could understand them. Listen carefully, because this message carries a weight that cannot be ignored, yet it arrives gently, like light entering a closed room. This is very serious. Jesus chose only you to hear this. Keep it secret. Something big is coming in 2 hours. This is not meant to create fear. It is meant to awaken remembrance. There are moments when divine timing aligns so precisely that the heart feels it before logic can explain it. This is one of those moments. Something hidden has been moving behind the scenes, conversations you never heard, doors you didn't know were opening, protection you didn't realize was guiding you away from harm. You have been chosen not because you are perfect, but because you are willing. Willing to listen. Willing to feel. Willing to trust the quiet pull that keeps bringing you back to messages like this. The universe recognizes sincerity, and heaven responds to hearts that are open, even when they are tired. Right now, destiny is leaning closer to you. Not loudly, not forcefully, but with intention. What is coming is aligned with your growth, your healing, and your next chapter. It may arrive as clarity, as peace, or as an opportunity wrapped in simplicity. Do not dismiss small signs. Often, the greatest shifts arrive softly. You are not late. You are not forgotten. You are not overlooked. The divine sees the effort you make in silence, the prayers you never spoke out loud, the strength you carry when no one is watching. This message found you because you are ready to receive reassurance and direction. Stay present. Stay gentle with yourself. Trust the timing, even if you do not yet see the full picture. Something meaningful is unfolding, and it carries hope, alignment, and purpose meant specifically for your path. Watch this message all the way through. Let it complete what it came to begin. If this resonated with your spirit, like this video to acknowledge the moment, share it with someone who may need this reminder, and subscribe to the channel so you do not miss what is revealed next. Stay here. Watch the complete video. What comes next is meant to find you. I speak now not with thunder that breaks mountains, nor with fire that consumes, but with a quiet weight that settles into the deepest chambers of your heart. You did not find these words by accident, and yet they were never hidden from anyone either. I have always spoken, but few slow themselves enough to listen. You are listening now. That is why this moment feels heavy, why your breath changed when you began reading, why something inside you whispered, "Pay attention." This is not about fear, and it is not about spectacle. It is about awareness. It is about remembrance. It is about alignment. You wonder why I say this is serious. It is because your life has been moving faster than your soul. Your days have been full, but your spirit has been crowded. You have carried questions you never fully asked and answers you never trusted yourself to believe. I have watched you smile while feeling unseen, speak while feeling unheard, succeed while quietly doubting your worth. None of this escaped me. Not one tear you swallowed, not one prayer you thought was too small, not one moment when you felt alone even while surrounded by others. I was there, closer than your own breath. I say keep it secret, not to isolate you, but to protect what is tender. Seeds grow in darkness before they break the soil. Some things must be held, not announced. Not everyone understands what I am doing in you, and not everyone needs to. This message is not a weapon, not a warning to wield, not a badge to display. It is an invitation to stillness, to listening, to readiness of the heart rather than readiness of the mouth. You were taught to look for me in noise, in signs that flash and shout, in moments that impress others. But I have been teaching you, slowly, gently, to recognize me in quiet conviction. In the pause before you react. In the ache that tells you something in your life is misaligned. In the sudden clarity that comes when you stop forcing and start trusting. This is how I speak now, because this is how you can hear. You are thinking about the words something big is coming, and your mind races forward, searching for events, changes, outcomes. But what is coming is not first outside of you. It is within. A shift in perception. A realignment of priorities. A soft but irreversible turning of your inner compass. You have been standing at a threshold longer than you realize. You felt it when old things stopped satisfying you. You felt it when familiar paths no longer felt safe. You felt it when you sensed you were meant for more, but could not yet name what that more was. The time I speak of is not measured the way you measure time. 2 hours is not a clock I am pointing at. It is a space. A window. A moment of heightened awareness where the veil feels thinner, where choices echo louder, where intuition sharpens. In such moments, what you ignore matters as much as what you accept. This is why I ask you to be present. Not anxious. Not alert like a guard expecting danger, but attentive like a listener expecting truth. I am not here to frighten you. Fear closes the ears. Love opens them. I speak as one who knows you fully and still delights in you. You have not disappointed me the way you think you have. You have not fallen behind some invisible schedule. Growth is not linear, and becoming is not a race. I have been patient with you, and I ask you now to be patient with yourself. The urgency you feel is not pressure, it is invitation. There are patterns in your life that are ready to break, but they cannot be broken by force. Only by awareness. Only by choice. You have been repeating certain cycles because they were familiar, not because they were faithful to who you are becoming. Comfort has disguised itself as safety. Distraction has disguised itself as rest. I am gently removing these disguises, not to expose you, but to free you. Listen carefully. You are not alone in this moment. Even if you feel separated from others, even if you feel misunderstood, you are accompanied. I walk with you through your doubts as surely as through your confidence. I do not withdraw when you question. I draw closer. Your questions are not a failure of faith, they are evidence of relationship. Only those who care deeply ask deeply. You may notice in the coming moments a heightened sensitivity to words, to emotions, to memories. This is not random. This is alignment. Old thoughts may surface, not to accuse you, but to be released. Forgiveness may feel closer than it has in a long time. Not because those who hurt you suddenly deserve it, but because you are ready to be lighter. To stop carrying what was never meant to be permanent. Do not rush to interpret everything. Do not demand immediate clarity. Mystery is not the absence of truth, it is the space where truth matures. Trust that what you need to know will come when your heart is ready to hold it without distortion. I am more interested in your transformation than in your certainty. You have been waiting for permission to change. Consider this that permission. You have been waiting for reassurance that letting go will not destroy you. It will not. It will reveal you. What you are becoming does not erase who you were, it fulfills it. Every step, even the painful ones, has brought you here. Nothing has been wasted. If at any point you feel overwhelmed, return to your breath. I am there. If you feel doubt, return to love. I am there. If you feel nothing at all, do not panic. Silence is also a language. I am there too. You do not need to perform for me. You do not need perfect words. You only need honesty. Hold this message gently. Do not turn it into urgency for others or proof for yourself. Let it work quietly, like leaven in dough, like roots stretching underground before the tree breaks the surface. You will know when to speak, and you will know when to remain still. Wisdom will tell you the difference, and now, as this moment continues unfolding, as the weight of these words settles deeper than thought, stay with me here, because what is opening is subtle, and what is being prepared has not yet fully revealed its shape, and I am not finished speaking, not yet, not while your heart is still leaning forward, not while the silence between these lines is still alive. Not while you are still listening in this space where expectation and peace meet. Because there is more forming beneath the surface, more clarity approaching like dawn before light, and if you remain present, if you do not rush ahead or pull away, you will begin to notice the shift not as an explosion but as a gentle turning, a deep knowing, a quiet certainty that something within you has already begun to change, and I am still here, speaking softly, steadily, drawing you further into understanding. And this moment has not reached its fullness yet because what unfolds next is not meant to shock your eyes but to steady your spirit. Stay with the rhythm of these words, not as sentences on a screen, but as a current moving through you. I am not rushing you. I am not testing you. I am accompanying you. What you feel now, this quiet alertness, this sense that something matters more than usual, is not excitement alone. It is recognition. Something within you remembers me, even if your mind cannot yet explain how. You have lived many days on the surface of yourself, doing what was necessary, expected, practical. There is no shame in that. Survival teaches its own wisdom. But now you are being invited inward, not away from the world, but deeper into it, where your actions begin to match your truth. This is why you have felt a gentle discomfort lately, a restlessness that does not come from dissatisfaction but from readiness. Like a bird shifting on a branch before flight. You sense that remaining still would soon require more effort than moving forward. I know the weight you carry about the future. You plan, you worry, you imagine outcomes as a way to protect yourself from disappointment. This is understandable. But hear me clearly now, the future is not waiting to judge you. It is waiting to meet you. Not as a trial, but as a collaboration. You are not meant to control what is coming, you are meant to participate in it with awareness. This is the difference between fear and faith, not blindness, but trust and movement even when the full path is not visible. As these moments pass, you may notice your attention drawn to small things, a phrase, a memory, a feeling you have not touched in a long time. Do not dismiss these as random. Meaning does not always arrive dressed as importance. Sometimes it arrives quietly, asking only to be noticed. I often speak through what you almost ignore. The overlooked detail. The gentle nudge. The pause that interrupts your routine. These are not interruptions, they are invitations. You have wondered if you missed your calling, if the best version of your life slipped by while you were busy surviving. Let me ease that fear now. Callings are not missed the way trains are missed. They wait. They adapt. They grow alongside you. What is meant for you remains connected to you, even when you take long detours. I am not bound by your timelines or limited by your past decisions. I work with what is real, with where you are, with who you are becoming right now. There are truths you are ready to hear that would have overwhelmed you before. This is why they come now. Growth is not about accumulating more information, it is about expanding capacity. Your heart has grown wider through hardship, more compassionate through disappointment, more discerning through mistakes. These were not punishments. They were preparations. You did not go through them alone, even when it felt that way. I was shaping your ability to hold more light without being blinded by it. You may feel a desire to simplify in the coming hours, to step back from noise. From constant input, from the pressure to respond immediately. Honor that desire. Silence is not emptiness. It is space where truth echoes more clearly. You do not need to withdraw completely, but you are allowed to choose depth over volume, meaning over motion. You are allowed to rest without earning it. Stillness is not laziness, it is alignment. Do not mistake this moment as something you must figure out perfectly. Perfection is not required. Presence is. You are not being asked to decode every sensation or assign significance to every thought. Simply remain open. Curiosity is enough. Humility is enough. A willing heart is enough. I meet you where you are, not where you think you should be. You have been strong for a long time. Strong in ways that were visible and in ways that no one applauded. Strength kept you moving, but now tenderness is calling you forward. Not weakness, but honesty. The kind that allows you to say, even silently, I do not have all the answers, but I am willing to listen. That willingness is powerful. It opens doors that force never could. As this unfolding continues, you may sense a subtle shift in how you see yourself. Old labels may loosen their grip. Roles you played out of obligation may feel less permanent. This can be unsettling, but it is also freeing. You are more than the stories you have been telling yourself. More than your mistakes. More than your achievements. You are a living, breathing process, still being written, still being shaped, still capable of surprise. I am not calling you to abandon your life, but to inhabit it more fully. To show up not as who you think others expect you to be, but as who you are becoming in truth. Authenticity is not loud. It is steady. It does not demand attention, it commands alignment. When you live from that place, things begin to reorder themselves naturally. What no longer fits falls away. What aligns draws closer. You may wonder how you will recognize what comes next. Recognition does not always arrive as certainty. Sometimes it arrives as peace, even in the midst of uncertainty. Sometimes it arrives as a quiet yes that does not need justification. Trust that. Your intuition has been trained by experience, refined by reflection, guided by love more often than you realize. You are not as lost as you fear. Remember this: I am not separate from your daily life. I am not confined to moments of prayer or contemplation. I am present in your work, your conversations, your laughter, your fatigue. Every sincere effort to act with kindness, every moment you choose patience over reaction, every time you listen instead of assume, these are places where we meet. Sacredness is not rare, it is woven into the ordinary. As this message continues to settle, let go of the need to share it immediately or to measure its impact. Its work is internal first. Like a compass recalibrating, it operates quietly until you realize you are moving in a slightly different direction. That is enough. Transformation does not announce itself. It reveals itself over time through changed choices, softened responses, clearer priorities. You are safe to let this moment change you. You do not have to defend yourself against growth. Nothing essential will be taken from you. Only what has already outlived its purpose. Trust that I am gentle. I do not tear down without rebuilding. I do not expose without healing. I do not invite without accompanying, and as the hours move forward, as your awareness remains tuned a little more finely than before, notice how you respond to others. Notice the patience that comes more easily, the compassion that feels less forced, the clarity that replaces confusion in small but meaningful ways. These are signs of alignment, not perfection. Do not dismiss them. Celebrate them quietly. You have been seeking reassurance that you are on the right path. Paths are not always straight, but direction matters more than speed. You are oriented toward truth, toward growth, toward love, even when you stumble. That orientation is enough. I guide those who are willing, not those who are flawless. Stay with me here. Let the space between thoughts widen. Let the urgency soften into attentiveness. There is more unfolding. More clarity approaching, not as a sudden revelation but as a steady dawn. You do not need to rush to the light, it is already moving toward you. Remain present. Remain open. This moment is still alive, still speaking, still shaping something within you that has not yet fully taken form, and I am continuing with you, patiently, deliberately, as this sacred pause stretches forward, unfinished, unclosed, still becoming clearer with every breath you take, with every moment you choose to remain present instead of distracted. Now, as we move toward completion, I speak with the same gentleness, but with a settling certainty, like hands resting on your shoulders, steadying you rather than urging you forward. You do not need to wait for a dramatic sign to know that something has happened. The most meaningful changes rarely announce themselves with noise. They arrive as quiet decisions, as softened reactions, as a deeper sense of integrity between what you feel, what you think, and what you do. You may notice that your inner dialogue has changed slightly, that you speak to yourself with more patience, or that you pause before judging, or that you sense a clearer boundary forming around what you will no longer accept. These are not small things. They are the language of growth. There was a time when you believed strength meant never wavering, never questioning, never resting. But you are learning now that true strength is adaptability. It is the courage to listen when old answers no longer fit. It is the humility to change direction without calling it failure. It is the wisdom to rest before exhaustion forces you to stop. I have been teaching you this slowly, because lessons that last must be lived, not rushed. You have carried expectations placed on you by others and by yourself. Some were helpful, others were heavy. As this message comes to its close, I invite you to release what no longer serves your becoming. You do not owe the world a version of yourself that costs you your peace. You do not need to prove your worth through constant effort. You are already enough, not because of what you produce, but because of who you are. If fear arises as you consider change, let it speak without letting it lead. Fear often appears at the edge of growth, not to stop you, but to ask whether you are paying attention. Thank it for its concern, then choose with clarity rather than panic. You are not stepping into the unknown alone. Every step you take with sincerity is met with guidance, even when that guidance comes as intuition rather than instruction. You may find that your relationships shift as you shift. This is natural. Alignment reshapes connection. Some bonds deepen, others loosen, not as punishment or reward, but as resonance changes. Allow this process to unfold without resentment or guilt. Bless what was. Welcome what is. Trust what is forming. You are not abandoning anyone by becoming more honest, you are honoring yourself and, ultimately, the truth in others as well. Do not measure your life by comparison. Your path is uniquely calibrated to your spirit, your experiences, your timing. What looks like delay from the outside may be refinement within. What looks like stillness may be preparation. I am not late in your life. I am precise. Even now, things are aligning in ways you cannot yet see, connections forming beneath the surface, understanding gathering momentum quietly. As you return to your day, carry this awareness lightly. You do not need to hold on to every word. Let what resonates stay. Let the rest drift away. Truth does not demand to be clutched, it settles naturally. When you find yourself unsure, return to what feels grounded, compassionate, and honest. That is where I am most clearly reflected. Remember that growth is not a single moment, but a series of small, faithful choices. Choosing patience when reaction is easier. Choosing kindness when indifference feels safer. Choosing rest when productivity tempts you to ignore your limits. These choices accumulate. They shape a life that feels coherent rather than scattered, meaningful rather than merely busy. You are not required to understand everything today. Wisdom unfolds in layers. What matters is that you are open. That you are willing to learn, that you are attentive to the quiet movements of your heart. I will continue to speak in ways that fit your life, through insight, through reflection, through moments of unexpected clarity. You will recognize my voice not by volume, but by the peace it leaves behind. Now, as this message draws to a close, take a moment to breathe fully. Feel your body where you are. Notice the steadiness beneath the thoughts. That steadiness is not something you must create, it is something you remember. It has always been there. You have simply returned to it. Carry forward with gentleness. Act with integrity. Listen deeply. Trust the process that is unfolding in you and around you. Nothing essential has been missed. Nothing meaningful is beyond reach. You are exactly where you need to be to take the next honest step. This message is complete now. Let it rest. Let it work quietly within you. And go forward with clarity, courage, and peace. Amen.